Cup 2025 live in Riyadh for the EWC 25. HomeBois going to be on blue side facing off against Team Spirit on the red.
This is going to be an interesting take on the playstyle from Team Spirit. I don't know if you could say it's mostly team fight because the majority of the heroes we're seeing in their composition are literally single target heroes. I mean, you could say that the Guinevere could like affect more than one hero, and it's great that it has a way to keep itself or immune itself from the other crowd controls that can come in from HomeBois, because that's going to be a problem. I mean, Ivan, Izanami, and actually, more importantly, Vel, right? Those are a lot of layers of crowd control that you have to think about if you're Team Spirit who wants to go in and looks for the setup.
So many, right? And I think this game is going to boil down to the performance of the laners on every single lane. Maybe the junglers not so much, but there is a higher onus on one-shot to land his abilities, and Amal needs to be able to use his iframes to get on out of there. Speaking of which, let's look at the emblem setup, because this time around, I'm not seeing Killing Spree. Amal has decided to go for the War Cry.
Even for, I mean, looking at the emblem combinations for one-shot, since it's been a while since I've seen a Guinevere jungle, seems like it's going for a tank emblem, a little bit of thrill here, and of course additional damage to the jungle. So yeah, maybe it is indeed Team Spirit just wanting to play around Hiko. If even the Guinevere seems like it's going for a bit more tankier approach.
Yeah, I think the tankier approach is slightly better here, right? Because if we're talking about just like, there's just so much disruption from HomeBois' side. The only way we see one-shot actually making an outplay of his own is if he times his Violet Requiem perfectly against the I'm Offended. But now, first fight.
Oh, that's another one that's timed, but look at the layers of crowd control coming in from HomeBois. They introduced it as early as minute 2 of this game. First blood is none other than one shot, and this is likely to be a turtle that gets into the hands of HomeBois. Thorn Rose dealing a lot of damage, but Amal somehow gets punished too.
He didn't. Oh, he thought they wanted to go for more. I'm pretty sure Vel was communicating I was going to flicker and try to make a play to get you out of there, but it happened too late, and now the I'm Offended as well.
My.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting those 2 upcoming kills.
That's true, that's why I already stopped. Like, imagine that. There was still a flicker that Ivan could potentially burn, and yes, it's gonna be a huge problem for Team Spirit, who's just trying to run away, but that's the thing, this isn't a gold lane Ruby, it's an XP lane Ruby, so seeing it active in the first objective just helped so much in terms of HomeBois winning that fight. I mean, the way that they're able to layer the Fist Break and the I Am Offended, Team Spirit could barely move, could barely get out. There aren't any Purify spells either way other than Sunset Lover.
Yeah. Oh, so it seems like I was wrong. Amal did end up missing one of the punctures. He didn't get a reset on it, which is why he couldn't double dash out of the pickup here. Even so, right, the extensions and the kills that came afterwards, after Amal died, is really great for the HomeBois, because these leads adds up for people like Izanami. He's got that full level lead against Sunset Lover and Vel. He's got full priority, right? He's not really interacting with Kit Bomba. He's saying, hey, I am willing to give you a little bit of gold, because if Izanami gets far enough ahead, you don't have an option. And he still has Purify, so Sawo's thinking, man, I can't even force it.
Oh, already using the Traction Pulse though. Got to be cautious of Sawo, because he can potentially look for a setup though. But this is different from what we were kind of expecting to be Team Spirit just constantly being the ones to dive, trying to interrupt and look for Izanami or making him uncomfortable in terms of positioning, because if they're able to establish this lead, I mean, that's 100% kill participation for majority of their heroes so far. So I feel like they're gonna be extra confident in whatever they try to do or in wherever they try to position themselves, and that's what we're seeing right now prior to the next objective of this game.
Amal, gotta be careful there, buddy. You can't be losing your resets here, especially for your puncture. It's too important.
Whoa.
This might break out. The Traction Pulse has been thrown, but at this point, everybody, they're ready for this 5v5. They're really...
Oh! And it's HomeBois who starts things first. Amal doesn't land the Thorn Rose, will still try to go for Hiko, however, and Vel actually gets taken down. Kid Bomba surprisingly gets the last hit on the turtle, and Amal might have just gotten taken down.
Oh!
What? Renner's apathy from Mel Cutie! It lands to Sawo!
That was a headshot coming in from MLQT, saving at least a bit of the scenario. They give away the turtle, but they end up losing 2 for it. Amal, he's got to be careful. He cannot make these types of mistakes. And honestly, just with the War Axe alone, Hiko was put in a lot of trouble. Had he landed it, that definitely would have been a kill. But now the lane swaps have started to come through, right? MLQT still wants to be able to participate for this upcoming turtle fight. And surprisingly enough, Vela is willing to sacrifice bot tier 1 for this.
Oh, brief stun onto Kid Bomba, enough to burst him down through the follow-up damage of MLQT, but the curtain call! Such well-timed and well-placed, and now One Shot finds the kill onto MLQT. There's the way of the dragon as well, landed onto Vel, but look at the sustain and the Phantom execution! HomeBois, they turned things around!
How worth it is it? I gotta give it to Kid Bomba. He outplayed the scenario very well, but it's a 2-for-2 trade with a tier 1 down bot side and Hiko catching double waves in the process. The true winner of this really is Hiko, because MLQT, if he survived here, it would have been a different story. Had he taken a kill off of Kid Bomba, then the economical damage wouldn't have been so bad as Hiko continues to get ahead in this game. The cleanup is nice from the side of the HomeBois, but the execution is not as polished as we would like it. Look at Kid Bomba. He knows he outplayed that. It's like, try me again.
How often do you see the actual winners not being part of the fight? but yeah, Hiko got a lot from that entire team fight, which took HomeBois long enough, but still, if you look at the lead, at least it's still in Team Spirit's hands. But nonetheless, I'm liking the mechanics. I'm liking how coordinated HomeBois actually is starting to look like in this game, regardless of how Team Spirit seems to play it maybe a little too aggressively even. I mean, there were a lot of times Kid Bomba up top was even right under the turret already, but they tried to recreate that play onto One Shot, has a way to immune himself, however, not the angle they're trying to look for as they land the kick on Izanami, and Amal gets taken down even before he gets to use the Phantom execution of the crossbow of Tang! He's actually finding the targets right now! 4 members already taken down from HomeBois!
And now you can hear, I can even hear it from here, Team Spirit are very vocal about it. We saw that mistake. You do not get to walk away with that. We need more polish. We need to smell the varnish off of you. Anything less is beneath us. Kid Bomba already managed to get the blade armor. This is going to just be a tougher time for MLQT to try and cut through him until he gets a Malefic Roar or a gun. Regardless, it is a winning scenario as Team Spirit, 7 minutes into this game, 4,000 gold ahead, and a majority of it being held by both the side laners, Kid Bomba and especially Hiko.
They have so much room to move around the map. Ever since they've been winning out on the macros, is the first few team fights that we've been seeing. And it's a surprising change of pace for this game. I mean, that was a high-pitched crossbow Tang. It came in a little too surprisingly as well. Oh, traction pulse though. Doesn't land onto anyone, but they've created enough space yet again for Team Spirit, who will likely try to just secure this for themselves. HomeBois, even after that great start, even after those multiple chain CCs that we thought could have made things so much difficult for Team Spirit, now they're the ones struggling to find a way back, and look at the curtain call once again, landed beautifully, but the Bennett's Rage, there's enough damage as well. Kid Bomba popping the Vengeance, tries to sustain a little bit more, but Hiko will try to look for the stats. There's a flicker from Vel, but he gets to receive the way of the dragon, and that gives 2 kills, or 1 kill, 1-for-1 trade for both of these teams.
And Amal, he's coming back into this. He's like, guys, I messed up a couple of times, but now I'm going to make sure that if we get somebody low, I will finish them off. And Kid Bomba, he tanked the damage with the help of that Vengeance, and not to mention his blade armor, which is making Izanami's life extremely difficult. But the conversion, right? Team Spirit was 4,000. There's now 6.1k ahead, and they still have the Lord walking down to the bottom side. All the Econ turrets, which is all this tier 2 turrets, are going to collapse. That Holy Shielding will protect them. But I think that Team Spirit now just really taking their time, right? Eating away at the economy of the HomeBois, stealing away their jungle at the same time.
You gotta be careful if you're HomeBois. There are flickers available for Sao. Spatial migrations even for One Shot, and looking like the Holy Shields are already gonna pop before the Lord even gets to approach their inhibitor turret down bottom. Sao might have wanted to try and go for the attempt, but they're gonna play it safe There's the traction pulse, gets dodged by the Crimson Beacon, and somehow HomeBois successfully defend for now.
All holy shielding has been stripped away, and Team Spirit, they understood there's no way we're going to be able to finish this on the first time, right? Even Sawo, he's looking for an angle, but if he doesn't see it, they just have to back off. No reason to throw your lead now, especially now that you've developed a very solid 7K. In about, 70 seconds or so, HomeBois are bound to make a mistake. They have to walk back up. Malefic Gun already purchased for the side of Mel QT, and I think it really boils down to a battle of battle spells, unironically.
That's true. I like how Sawo, yes, tried to look for a kick, but when he saw that it might not be the best time to go for a kick anymore, just disengaged. Didn't force anything to happen anymore because that's respect, of course, coming in from Team Spirit and them just badly wanting to hold on to the lead that they have. And now all they have to do is just to keep managing these waves, deny the potential farm that Amal could actually secure. And that's not looking too good too, by the way, because he's 2 levels behind of one shot. So even when it does come to the objective fight later on, this is a Lancelot, but the retribution won't be the same.
It's not on equal footing. And I think worst yet, right? The transition piece. Izanami was supposed to be the one that gets them over early to mid. And now that we're seeing the blade armors coming through, and I'm pretty sure radiant armors are also eventually going to get built, unless he's got a divine glaive on top of maybe having I would say concentrated energy might just be a little bit better in this particular case, just to sustain in this battle, right? Let's look at the items so far. Sky Piercer already built. And now already looking for a second item, but man, members from the side of Team Spirit already moving to their 4th item for their cores, 3rd item for their side laners.
One Shot doesn't have the radiant armor yet, but already has the blade armor, enough tankiness to at least sustain the other major damage dealers of HomeBois at this point. So probably a major target for them is indeed gonna be Izanami, considering that he hasn't died yet even once in this game too. So it's going to be a huge problem for Team Spirit because Izanami is also able to supplement a bit of crowd control, but HomeBois have to do a great job at protecting these heroes. Not just Izanami maybe, because this is a 10k gold lead we're talking about in the hands of Team Spirit. So things can get pretty messy once they approach the base.
Yeah, it's looking to be a checkmate angle, and they've achieved it at a very primal time, right? Because off of this push, HomeBois are not anywhere close to the 42k mark. Team Spirit will eventually hit their final item power spikes, while Hiko, he's done with his items, right? He doesn't even need his situationals because nobody really threatens him at this point. So unless he wants to sell his boots off for a wand. Oh god. Wait, I mean, Sawo's okay, right? He tanks a bit of the damage, but there's a second wave coming through.
There was a slight mistake, it seems, from Sawo in terms of calculating how he could have landed a setup for Team Spirit, but it doesn't seem like he still wants to go for the reset. Might attempt to do something if a member from HomeBois overextends a little bit, but at least they'll keep themselves safe. They'll just stay under the turrets for now, and even Sawo won't risk it anymore. So again, a successful defense, I'd say, for HomeBois.
Very successful indeed. I mean, their composition has the better wave clear, right? Team Spirit are the ones, the way that they siege is by threatening you with their position, by actually catching you prior to the siege or while you are underneath your turrets. And I think that right now, with Sawo losing that flicker, it's a
and he doesn't have the flicker, as you mentioned, to get out of that. Spatial migration doesn't land onto anyone. There's the conceal coming in from HomeBois. Might just catch multiple members from Team Spirit, and there you go! But the crossbow of Tang lands onto the members of HomeBois. Can Hiko find a way to take down more than just one member? Vel being chased here by Kid Bomba, and One Shot tanky enough to deal with the other members, but Hiko comes in, and with his help, they finally get the kill.
Hiko Mania. He got his name for a reason. A really good engagement coming in from Ivan. Even Vel trying to make sure that this play was going to work out, setting it up for his boy as a secondary engagement tool, but Hiko already had the weakness points already triggered. He had that crossbow of Tang, and even Sawo, he's telling the rest of his team, it's like, hey, I got caught off first, good recovery. This time I'm gonna make it count. Give me 17 more seconds.
That just brings it to the 10k mark though. In terms of the gold lead, it didn't shrink at all. It's Sawo once again with the conceal, looking to find a target, but HomeBois are gonna keep themselves safe. Even with multiple successful attempts to defend. Without the Lord, Team Spirit were able to take that inhibitor turret up top nonetheless. So this upcoming objective, will HomeBois be brave enough to try and risk it? They're complete in terms of numbers, but in terms of battle spells, these two flickers that aren't in the hands of Vel and Ivan might be crucial.
Extremely crucial. Not to mention, they've got 2 side waves to deal with, right? Team Spirit can take however long they want to deal with this Lord, and they should be able to secure this without much of a contest from the HomeBois, and this is it. If HomeBois are able to make this one final defense, they will come back into this game on equal terms with Team Spirit, other than the minions pushing. But in terms of power level, Team Spirit, they're looking to try and close this out here. Sawo, he's used that conceal to get another inhibitor on that top side, but hadn't commit the flicker. So we need to see that big choke play from Sawo. That's what we're expecting here, unless One Shot is going to be the one who initiates.
Yeah, because for the past few Lord Sieges, the attempt from Sawo hasn't been that successful. He's always forced to recall, reset, and so Team Spirit are left with 4 members, and of course you'd expect the setups, the engagers to come in from Sawo and of course One Shot, but I feel like for now One Shot is more of the secondary layer of crowd control for Team Spirit so that they don't put themselves too much in a dangerous position. But Sawo, will he get to find it this time? Izanami Yeo still has the Purify, so might not be the best target, but he's already down, half HP! One Shot gets to find a different target, it's Vel instead, and sets up for the perfect crossbow of Tang, coming in from Hiko Mania, and that will just hand over the win to Team Spirit!
Too many mistakes being made in the earlier stages of the game, and Team Spirit, great converges, great punishes against the HomeBois. This is what I'm talking about. Team Spirit are so solid.
I kind of feel like this is the perfect time to have that rank mentality of that when you lose, blame your jungler. Because I gotta say, Amal on this landslide, he did make a lot of mistakes, and I kind of feel like it's very evident. Like you said, like missed punctures, and then just questioning like, what are you doing there in the first place? And I kind of feel like he wasn't ready to face up against this CC coming in from Kid Bomba, because there were quite a few times where Kid Bomba was able to actually catch him with the curtain call, and it made it so that, hey, you want to dash? Hey, guess what? You don't get to do that.
Yeah,
so in this sense, CC is just a better Mincetar in that kind of sense, where you just can't move around and you just have to take the damage. So maybe it's jitters in game number 1, but I really feel like the mid trio, well, I would say Izanami, Ivan, as well as Vel, they tried their very best. But if your jungler can't really contribute that much, it's not going to be looking good.
Yeah, but that's not the only thing that I thought was really weird, right? They got Vel to kind of move out of his lane, and he sacrificed like, what, 2-3 waves even just to try and force a play with Mel QT's side, all of which, again, I understand the idea behind it, but if the execution doesn't net you that profit, you are on the losing end. The gold swing falls into the favor of Team Spirit very quickly, and we saw by mid-game, both Kid Bomba and Hiko both developed a 1.2k lead. That's not something you want with this type of comp.
Yeah, honestly, HomeBois seemed like they wanted to force too many fights together, which wasn't a bad thing because I feel like their lineup needs to be together for it to work. But Team Spirit, they were just, I'd say, much more composed in a sense that they've had their crucial key heroes or players just working on what needs to be worked on, and namely that's Hiko, who didn't care if he got to join the fight or not, because what's important, what mattered was that he got to get the farm.
I would say is that we saw Hiko with just raw, pure mechanics, but I gotta talk about Kid Bomba's battle IQ, because more often than not, we see like in a fight he's gonna be involved, but the way that he uses the CC is kind of like he's just waiting for them to get in a bad position, curtain call, and then gets away, and then using the Yo-Yo Blitz just to get some of that HP back. But it really does look like his battle IQ is that he's using himself as a bait, make them all these forced mistakes, and then trust his team to follow up, which they did.
I think that's why, you know, Kid Bomba has been such a standout player and some of the best EXP laners in the world, because he is not only trustful of his team, but he's very effective when he is utilizing his abilities. Not only that, right? Because I feel like One Shot had a lot of times where he could have been the first one to engage and then look to kind of like set up for somebody else, but really it's that curtain call that makes the difference, because if you lock down at least one core or even a tank, that's perfect, because you technically get a 2-for-1 if One Shot comes in with the magic thump into the Violent Requiem. You've basically locked down 2 people.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I feel like best example was the one that happened up top. Like, Kid Bomba was already kind of under the turret. He just had to bounce away to reposition a bit, but that was all him buying time because there were other members of Team Spirit on their way anyway. So they got to somehow manage the team fight, which was looking good for HomeBois supposedly. Because I'd say the idea was great. The fist breaks, I'm offended, the setups, and then the follow-up damage from either the Thorn Rose or the Beatrix. Because the Bennett's rage happened a lot of times.
Yeah.
It got to burst down members a lot of times. But like what happened after that probably was the difference.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, I really feel like what Kid Boba did was the best example of what we mean by you gotta lie, right? You can't be too honest, because in that situation, people would think that he was throwing, right? but then all of a sudden, everyone is jumping in. But now I want to move on to say that HomeBois is not just AML. There's a lot of mistakes in terms of their abilities as well. Because I even remember in mid where
when he throws the Bennett's Rage into the wave.
Into not even into wave, into nothing. I would understand if they're, the minions are there, at least you get value there. You clear minions very fast for you to go to do something else somewhere else. So yeah, I kind of feel like HomeBois, they need to calm down and utilize their skills properly, because at this point, it looks like they're throwing.
To a degree, right? It's just there's the lack of polish, which is why I was saying that for Team Spirit, they need to smell the varnish to give you respect. If not, they're going to just get away with everything, right?
Yeah.
Convert on all of your smaller objectives, all of your green caps, all of your buffs. And that's what we saw in this game. That every scenario that we see TS win against the HomeBois, the gold swing is a little too significant than what I would be comfortable with, and HomeBois were more than happy to give it away. So coming into game number 2, and one more thing, another thing that I found really weird, despite TS being the more composed team, they were literally very vocal, shouting in the game, while HomeBois...
that was them?
Yeah, that was them.
Yeah.
HomeBois were the ones who were silent, but they were the ones who didn't seem as composed.
So that was Team Spirit all along.
Team Spirit the whole time.
I mean, we did see a replay once of Kid Bomba shouting.
I mean, when is he isn't?
That's true.
It's on brand.
Yeah.
That's Kid Bomba for you, I guess. But this is also Hiko for you, the rich guy and the carry for that game, who was relatively quiet for a 1-1 from the start. But that didn't matter. Like, the moment he was able to find his footing, join the fights, that's another thing. Like, everyone else made it so easy for him to stack the crossbow of Tang. He didn't have to go out of his way too much to stack the crossbow of Tang.
I mean, like, to be fair, it is based on his skill, because even I was surprised by how quickly he flew up. But either way, like, we can definitely see, like, at least for Team Spirit, in terms of their micro, it's amazing. The decision making, as well as how they perform in the team fights, it's really good. For HomeBois, they really got to make sure that they are back in their own form, back in MPL Malaysia, because they look much more confident in that one, where when they're being aggressive, it's aggressive for a reason, because you can actually get something out of it. For this one, it really does look like you're being aggressive, but at the same time, you're hoping to get lucky, which I kind of feel like is not the right approach.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to
That's
believe
the
that they're...
experience, because you don't know.
As much as I want to believe that they're hoping that they get lucky in a lot of these scenarios, I like the proactiveness coming up from the HomeBois, right? I think that the jitters really are getting to them, and it becomes very evident when you look at these plays like fairly closely. Once they kind of got their composure together, it's a little too late. When you've given a 10k lead over to your opponents can make mistakes like this, like, oh no, it doesn't
That's
matter.
so fast.
And then he goes like, I don't care, right?
That was something I'd expect HomeBois could have really won.
They could have. They could have.
Those were 2 members who got caught in the fist break, but in the blink of an eye, while they were being kited, for some reason, Hiko got the stack. So, like that feeling when you were the ones chasing and then suddenly you're the ones.
I would say
running
that's
away.
more on Hiko. Hiko was damn good.
Yeah, he goes really, really good. He's one of those gold laners that you got to keep an eye out for, right? But hey, it just means that HomeBois need to play a little bit better, right? They need to pump up the standard. They need to be a little bit more consistent and have better execution for this upcoming game. Because again, the ideology for the comps are good from both sides. These teams, I want to say that they're a little more equal, but HomeBois have to show up first.
I mean, here's the thing. Yes, it's not elimination, but you're going to be facing against Onyx. So it kind of feels like you're just delaying the inevitable. So winning this one will make it big, because going to the knockout stage, being top 8, that's huge, right? Even in terms of just the placement you get with the money, right? So I really hope they start locking in, because if they don't do it now, I don't know when.
Yeah, I think they gotta get used to like locking in and just winning it out in
Just be
one
better.
series, being better. Because like once you get to the knockouts too, yeah, that means a lot. But
It gets scarier there.
Isn't it single elimination?
It is single
So-
eliminations. Hey,
Singles are scary.
yeah, they are, and it helps that also that Team Spirit are playing like they don't want to face off Onyx PH. So
Yeah.
they really got to pump. They got to put their foot on the gas here. It's really how badly do you not want to play against the Super Fam?
Yeah, but either ways, I kind of feel like in terms of the draft, I feel like it still makes sense. You know, because
Yeah.
It
I feel
does.
like here in the MSC, there's no real super bad draft. Sure, there's like one or two, but I feel like every single player, they show you the reason why these heroes are getting picked, and then we can see like in terms of HomeBois draft, it's really about, in a way, like kiting, where you're trying to bait out mistakes with the Ruby as well as the Badang. But again, the way that Hiko played that 1-1 really made it so that it's kind of irrelevant. The moment they want to move forward, you instantly get punished. But to be fair, Hiko was also able to do that kind of damage because
Yeah.
they were too far ahead. So again, they just gotta realize, because I feel bad for my boy.
Your boy. Which
my
one there?
my boy did well, you know, early to mid. Like he had like 0-0 and 6, but at that point it's like, guys, what am I gonna do?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I've been in the scene long enough to witness too many downfalls to kind of care at this point. I know. Look, hey, it's a matter of fact. I've seen a lot of
We
Malaysian
get cynical
teams.
as we get older.
Yeah, we
get
get
it,
more
I
and more
get it.
cynical,
I get it.
which is totally fine. But I think what I appreciate the most from these teams, especially at an international, is when there is that layer of polish, which I think is a big difference compared to all the other MSCs as well as M series that we've seen so far. This time around, the drafts are looking good. We do see the pros and cons of the draft very quickly. It's not like, oh, this is an interesting draft, I hope it works in this way, and nothing happens.
Yeah, no, I agree. They really gotta polish this as well as be a little bit hungry.
Hungry.
You didn't guess the joke.
Oh, so I'm assuming.
No, it's a joke.
Don't worry, it's
geographic
about,
joke.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Balkan region, don't worry about it.
Sure.
Yeah, look, TS this time. Oh, wait, actually, HomeBois have decided to go to the red side.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
for some reason, why do I feel like the 1-1's not gonna be banned all the time in this series?
Because people feel like I can.
Oh, they
I
can. They
just-
feel like they can.
Just trust, you know, but you know.
Okay, no.
No.
HomeBois doesn't feel like they should.
They're like, we're done with this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Maybe like one of the players like, Coach, we can, and the coach looks like they're like,
Say that to my face. Say that to my face, boy.
Okay.
I can imagine Erpang just holding his little notebook, just pulling it down a little bit, just eyes glaring. Say that to my face, boy. Jushin
Kadira!
gets locked in. Oh,
Wait, huh?
Kadira,
Wow.
CC. Oh, HomeBois is really making their own drafts here, and now a quick Lancelot pickup.
Wait, that's what you like to see, right?
I mean, who?
The unique drafts, because the first batch had a lot. So
Dude. Oh.
What do you mean this is what we want to see?
I mean, for
What do you
me.
mean by we?
Okay, never mind. It's just me.
All right.
Oh my goodness. But yeah,
Oh,
it
your
feels,
goodness.
kind of feels early.
I agree with you with that. I think that the Kadira is a little
Especially because they
strange.
already have a mid laner.
That's,
Yes.
well,
Unless
no.
It's not?
No.
Unless-
What are you trying to say?
No.
he knows what I'm trying to say, unless it's a roamer.
I
mean-
don't. No. I don't know what you're smoking right now, but you got to stop it. All right, get back on the meds here, sir. It's not happening. Fanny is getting locked in, baby.
Okay.
HomeBois, balls to the wall.
Hey, talk about changes, right? Talk about changes. Like, you know what? I feel like in that game,
Hey.
it wasn't hard enough.
If I were right behind HomeBois right now, wasn't there a time they also went Mincetar Gold?
They did do that.
Just to double down.
Shut up and talk, okay? But less of the talk right now. That did not work out.
Yikes.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Coach Jesvin, honestly, I respect him a lot. Like,
Okay.
he has these crazy ideas. And like I said previously about the drafts, like, once it's finished, the questions will always be there. But as the game progresses, you can see the logic around it. For now, you don't see it. Hey, trust me, even I don't. But eventually, just wait for this.
Okay, let's
play
just wait
out.
for the last two.
Exactly.
If this gets even weirder, wait, what does that say? Oh, it's the Malaysian. Oh, dude, he's got the notebook for the Malaysian Esports Federation. That's cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know they had a notebook. I thought he would get a shirt at most. But even so, if this draft gets even weirder, I'm just gonna assume that Jesven, he just misses his girlfriend or something. I don't know, dude. Because, I mean, this is... We're not seeing traditional tanks at all.
No, it's about, like, never let your opponents know what's going on.
I don't know.
The element of surprise.
Yeah.
I would disagree.
Never be honest. Always cheat. Okay, not that one. But like you gotta have this deception. Be a magician.
This looks too honest, though.
What's honest? What, you think this Fanny's going jungle? Actually, yeah, probably. But you know, it's like make them think. Hey, are we not thinking about it? Are we not confused?
Thinking. I'm thinking too hard about it.
What do you think about their opponents?
I think we have to simplify this just a little bit, right? Because right now it's a pick-off composition from the side of the HomeBois. I don't know how they want to round off the pick-off composition or who's going to be the true setter. Because if they throw Kadita into this mix, there's already like a Badang Lancelot and as well as the Jushin. And if Jushin just takes Purify, you basically dodge 90% of the abilities in the first place, right? Iframes from one and a good follow-up coming in from this Badang. I think if TS wants to have any opportunity, and this is why they're thinking about their last ban, right? They've gotten rid of the Gatot, they get rid of the Harith, so now they just need to make sure that HomeBois don't scale to the late game. So worst comes to worst, your pick off, you get a huge snowball. Oh no, 10k lead. But if you can't clear waves, you don't scale that well, they can hold out.
Now I'm also thinking about the Mitsitar. Because
it's actually pretty good.
In your head is always that what if.
What if or please do.
Yeah.
Maybe you agree with me now.
I mean, it's not that I disagree. It's more like I don't want it to be a reality.
You're getting very convincing, Brigida. I'm just going to say that.
You know,
LaFell usually doesn't agree with me, but I think you're the only person who's made him agree with you this entire time.
So, yeah, they don't agree with us. They're going to simplify it, maybe, as we ask.
No, it's still snowball-oriented. It works in the favor of, like, profile of picking people off. But really, are they going to, like, run with Kaja or something? They're running with Franco? Oh, actually, Franco doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't sound too bad, yeah.
Irathel, alright.
Okay.
I mean, like, again, that's a lot of counters here. It looks like Team Spirit, they're really going for standard. And then HomeBois is really going for a question mark. Which, again, could work.
They're going for a gas sort of like composition. Ooh, Cho, so good. Good denial from TS. But now we see the instant response here. It's going to be the Hilda. So strange. This is giving me like Ultra Legend vibes.
Because it's really like HomeBois. Even if you look at how they played in game number 1, their idea is that kill them very, very fast and then hope for the best. Which, not gonna lie, I like that. It's something that I wish I can do in my ranked games. But now I'm going to throw it over to you guys where, not going to lie, I have no idea how to call this match.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to call this match either. But hey, it's going to be an interesting one. The composition from the HomeBois is so damage-oriented. And the setter, surprisingly enough, is going to be a combination of the Curtain Call and some of the Breath of the Ocean plus Petrify, right? That's what we're hoping to see from the side of the HomeBois. Team Spirit, they've got like we've seen compositions like this all the time within our MPO regions. But it's time. Let's head on over into the land of Dawn. MSC has been an exciting time as the Esports World Cup continues. But it's going to be Team Spirit on blue side facing off against HomeBois on the red side. Team Spirit on match point.
Yep. As you mentioned, Team Spirit clearly have to respect the amount of crowd control and burst that is going to come from the side of HomeBois, which results to, again, Sunset Lover and Hiko forced to pick up the Purify because the Kadita, which oftentimes goes with a pull yourself together too, and that's no joke because they almost always have the Petrify. You can just go in and out because, again, it's much more faster this time around. And considering that Ivan's the one who can do majority of the job of just trying to disrupt the members, then you'll feel so much more confident to just go in. But Sawo responds with that flicker as well, committed onto Ivan, and the Lantern Flare immediately punishes HomeBois in their attempt.
What was that? I mean, really good response coming in from the side of Team Spirit. Like, HomeBois nearly came in with Grand Theft Auto there for a moment. Not Grand Theft Purple or Grand Theft Orange in this case, just one of the green camps. That's totally fine. But even so, this does mean that Team Spirit has tempo on their side.
Oh, will Amel actually try to find a target? Gets to secure the kill on Sawo. So somehow it's like a trade that's a bit delayed, but yeah, I feel like what Team Spirit tried to do there was very similar to what HomeBois tried to do in the first few minutes of the game.
It's just mirrored sides, right? All right, let's look at the emblems and see whether we can get some ideas, because I'm seeing a lot of lethal ignition on either side. They're going for big burst damage. They're looking to, try and take them out as soon as possible. They also have Concussive Blast on this Hilda to try and unlock Izanami as soon as possible. Clear the waves fast, then immediately start hiding. Guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, it's clearly burst that HomeBois wants to go for. Oh, like two-man this break, this crack by Kid Bomba. But there isn't any follow-up damage, and now HomeBois knows that they don't have those resources. But Salvo finds the last hit on the turtle objective. Amal with the confidence gets to take down one shot, and he's looking for Kid Bomba next. That's a triple for Amal on the Fanny.
Really nicely done. Sunset Lover couldn't peel enough. There's a lot of mobility from HomeBois' side. And I gotta give it to Kid Bomba. He got some right ideas, right? I wish he didn't commit the ultimate onto 2 so early on in his lane. He could have used it a little bit later, but he still tried to slow down Izanami. Like watch this, right? Kid Bomba, he absorbs the damage. He doesn't mind, tries to dodge, but it's too late because the conversion from the side of the HomeBois kind of forced them into the corner, right? Sandwiching them in the river.
Oh, but Ivan, though, gets taken back under the turret through the Lantern Flare. This is such an action-packed early game for both of these two teams. We're seeing kills happen here and there. Up top, there's another committed ultimate from Kid Bomba, but he did not expect Izanami to be there.
The pull yourself together stacks are coming through, and Amal doubling down, right? Making sure that he's got the Blade of Heptases to double up on that burst damage. You show up, you go for that kill, and they want more.
Sawa finds the kick, but with Vel and the Yo-Yo Blitz, he won't get to survive much long. That was such a good shutdown if they got it against Amal, but I don't think they'll be able to get that as easily. Sunset Lover trying to help One Shot here, still getting the stacks on the Lantern Flare, and One Shot gets the final hit.
Yep, all this because there is no information over the mid lane, right? Because we're seeing that both Izanami and Ivan are doing two separate things. Izanami trying to hurt Kid Bomba on the top side of the map, while Ivan needs to make sure that he is giving vision over where One Shot is. It is costing them a little bit, but not enough to turn this game around. Amal still has a 3-kill lead so far, while One Shot has already taken a single death, but he is up by 2 kills, so it's not like he's too far away.
Yeah, somehow they can still find a way to deal with this. They might want to contest though, but Fel doing a great job scouting the members of Team Spirit, but Hiko decides to join in, doesn't, or already uses the heavy crossbow too, by the way. And you can't just see that damage just yet. Izanami yet again bursting Kid Bomba. A member down from Team Spirit. Down below though, they find Ivan. That 5th time they get to secure the kill, but Amal will be just trying to look for the other target. Secures the retribution on the turtle first before he decides to join the fight down bottom. Tries to go for Hiko. There's the Crimson Beacon coming in from Sunset Lover. But that's a shutdown coming in from Team Spirit.
Nicely played. Very nicely played from Hiko's side. Unfortunately for Amal, just doesn't have enough damage to completely burst through yet. I'm pretty sure that his lethal ignition had already procced on somebody else, and the same goes for his Heptases. So I think at that point, Amal might have considered backing off there, but he was confident because Hiko is playing an Aerotho who's known to be really squishy. I'm curious to see the item list in just a little bit, but it looks like a fight's about to break out.
Yeah, Izanami gets spotted out there, forced to use the ultimate just to escape. But I think that's what HomeBois needs, or what Team Spirit needs to do. Just always scout where these members could potentially be.
And the reason now, I see the reason why Hiko was able to survive that initial dive. First item, Ha's Claw. He's looking to sustain through the damage for the most part, especially in the early game, because he knows, hey, I gotta wait for my timing, right? I'm playing Purify, I'm not playing Sprint, I'm not all damaged just yet.
Yep. Getting through the laning stage is very crucial in this case. Oh, they get to bring Ivan down to half HP. Amal flies in. Doesn't get to damage anyone that much, but then there's the conceal cancelled immediately by Kid Bomba. However, there goes the fist break, blocking the path from HomeBois, but they still find a way to get in. They use the way of the dragon onto Vel, and Amal will be able to catch up, but somehow Team Spirit get to manage it. There's the flicker from Kid Bomba, but the other members of HomeBois have a way to disengage.
What was that? Vel had the most ideal flank possible. The follow-up just wasn't there for the side of the HomeBois, even though a majority of the abilities came out from the side of Team Spirit. Unfortunately, Izanami didn't have his ult, and the disruption from both sides wasn't able to line up perfectly despite that flank. And I think this is the big struggle we're seeing from both of these teams, right? They are ult-dependent at the end of the day. HomeBois, they want to snowball this out of control, and Team Spirit are not giving them that ground. They're forcing them to use resources.
Wow. they actually delayed the reset for Amal. Find the way of the dragon onto Vel, and yet again, one shot might find another kill. Vel is already down. Izanami goes in. Doesn't get to burst anyone though. Sunset Lover finds Ivan instead. This is the time for Amal, but he gets cancelled by the Jeet Kune Do. This is Team Spirit. They're literally on a roll.
They're on a roll. They're pulling it back. Even though HomeBois started things off pretty exciting. Team Spirit, their fundamentals stay true and they stay strong. They haven't broken under this type of pressure just yet. And honestly, it looks like they're very comfortable with this style of, you know, constant, consistent brawls, instant invades, split map rotations as well to kind of distribute the damage.
This is indeed becoming such a brawly fight.
Look at the damage dealt, right? Already we're getting into the 22,000s.
Yeah, this is a 9-8 kill score in 7 minutes of this game. I mean, you'd understand why HomeBois, they have so much kill potential, mainly through Izanami. And yet again, similar to what happened in game number 1, Team Spirit aren't able to deal with him just yet. They're not able to find a way to kill or take down Izanami. There's been great positioning coming in from this mid laner so far, but there are other things which matter too when the team fight breaks out. Just so long as Team Spirit still has the Purify or these crucial heroes dodge the combos from Izanami, then that's an immediate reposition and a way to re-engage in the fight.
Talking about things that matter, I think HomeBois, they should keep on looking to try and force scenarios against Team Spirit, because at this point, the majority of the leads that we see from Team Spirit are actually in the hands of Hiko, right? Hiko alongside with Sunset Lover. They are the big profiteers of this. Well, I'm not going to forget about One Shot, because again, he is 2 levels ahead of Amal, and they were able to take away the purple buff. It feels like HomeBois, now they've come to a point where they've hit a brick wall, they can't seem to get past this plateau, and are now diverging resources to Mel QT.
Sawo uses the way of the dragon onto Izanami. Still has the passive though. There's the flicker. Sawo tries to escape. Also has the conceal. Vel will try to chase after him. Also has the vengeance. But will it be enough? This might be the perfect time for HomeBois to go in. And there you go. Amal tries to look for a kill but gets blocked. It seems like the purple buff spawned just in time, and now Ivan might just get punished for this attempt.
Unlucky, unfortunate, and One Shot takes out Izanami before he could get the heal from the ult. Everything that could have gone wrong, despite it looking so good for the HomeBois, stolen away.
That was a sequence of unfortunate events for HomeBois. That could have looked like the perfect opportunity for them to finally chase after Team Spirit, because Sawo was very unsuccessful in his attempt. We have to look closely at this replay. Just look at how that path was suddenly blocked by the spawn of the purple buff. Oh, we didn't even get to catch it on camera, but...
I mean, mainly because Team Spirit won't stop pouring gasoline on this fire, right? And this dumpster fire is getting a little out of control. Another purple buff steal coming up for the side of Team Spirit. Not to mention that even for Amal, he was locked onto the wall. Luckily, Amal was able to find a purple buff of his own regardless, so he's able to make things happen. He's trying to even up the pressure off of this Lord push, because let's be real here. HomeBois don't exactly have the greatest wave clear.
Yep. So they might have to rely on a surprise, and that's exactly the surprise they might need. But Kid Bomba still survives, and with the Crimson Beacon going in, Team Spirit, they just keep finding targets against HomeBois.
They do. They really do. This Lancelot is so ridiculous. He's got the One Shot's got the items, and really he's living up to that namesake. They're gonna push in. No inhibitor now.
Oh, look at the damage. Ivan can't even survive. Phantom execution to execute him then and there. They're just working on the minion waves, but will Team Spirit actually try to go for it? They just focus down all their resources on the base. They'll still get to cast the rough waves and clear the minion waves.
All right. Well done, at least they defend, right? At least they defend. That's all I can say about it. Winds of Nature being utilized by Hiko. He's been scaling at a steady pace, like a too good of a steady pace, some may say. 4 items already complete. He says no to the Wind Talker, says yes to the GDS, which is a little interesting, right? Because he understands that, hey, not only do I need to survive, I need to make sure that I don't take any residual damage from everybody else. People like Vel, people like Amal, if he's chasing me. Izanami especially.
And it's fortunate that Izanami, even at this point, still has that damage you have to respect, enough to even clear out that wave, which Team Spirit could have definitely used to try and put an end to the game. And that's clearly what they're after right now as they try to take out all remaining outer turrets. One shot might just want to look for a target once again down bottom, but HomeBois will have to keep themselves safe. There's still a few more seconds before the next objective spawns, and if you're Team Spirit, you can't afford to make mistakes, but the Sawo actually want to try and go for something.
I think it's worthwhile. They've got a 10k lead, and it's clear that Izanami can only one-shot Hiko. And honestly, as long as they find the position of where Izanami is, it's not that big of a deal, right? Because I'm pretty sure Hiko is going to get his Winds of Nature off of cooldown in just a little bit. So that is going to take care of at least 2 of the carries from the side of the HomeBois.
Yeah, this is an interesting damage dealt ranking though. Bell is 4th and is the most damage dealt in HomeBois on the CC so far. But Sunset Lover, Hiko, and One Shot, they're definitely up there. Could this be the timing they want to go for, because it's only a few seconds? No, even the Lord has already spawned, so Team Spirit seems like they want to make something happen, but HomeBois, they've split themselves up pretty well, not unless they try to go for Ivan. Oh, gets blocked, however, and on the other side of the map, it's Kid Bomba who they try to burst down. Amal, will he successfully find the target? Gets knocked back, and One Shot on the other side of the map, though. He finds the kill on Izanami. Together with Hiko, they've zoned out majority of the members of HomeBois.
Yeah, and that's what a 10k league goes gets you, you know? I think that was a little greedy for Sawo to initiate this fight by saying, hey, Ivan's the guy that we need to start things off with, right? I'm gonna go for not only just the kick, but a flicker kick, which is a big resource to use considering that Amal is still at large. There's also Mel QT.
Yeah.
At the end of it all, they still get pretty much everything from the HomeBois. Every single one of their battle spells are gone. Izanami ended up dying in that fight because once again, One Shot just seems to not be able to make a mistake.
Yeah, luckily it went that way, right? Because the kick seemed like it was something HomeBois could have punished. And I don't think that the other members went for the wrong targets either. Amal onto the back lines. Maybe Izanami, though, tried to go for Kid Bomba, so maybe that could have been the one thing that was different. But let's see how they defend this for now, because these are consecutive waves coming in. They decide to go in with the flicker. Kid Bomba sets up for another kill, and it seems like HomeBois are just falling one by one, and so will their base. Team Spirit shall advance to the knockout.